There's a seismic shift rumbling through the WWE landscape, and it all started on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw. In what can only be described as a stunning and unanticipated moment, Roman Reigns, the undisputed tribal chief, the head of the table, and one of the most dominant figures in modern wrestling, made his dramatic return to the Raw backstage area after being absent from the red brand for an extended period. Fans were left in absolute shock as the cameras caught a glimpse of the big dog walking through the corridors of the arena, not with fanfare, but with quiet, undeniable authority. His mere presence instantly changed the tone backstage, creating a buzz of whispers and nervous energy among the roster. But what made this return even more electrifying was who stood beside him: Zilla Fatu. Zilla Fatu, the emerging talent and real-life cousin of Roman Reigns, is the son of the late, great Umaga, a ruthless and iconic WWE competitor in his own right. With a legacy already ingrained in his bloodline, Zilla's arrival on Raw alongside Roman Reigns didn't feel like an introduction. It felt like a declaration. From the way he carried himself to the intensity in his eyes, it was clear that Zilla wasn't just tagging along for the ride. He appeared focused, disciplined, and ready to follow in the footsteps of his legendary family. But more than that, there was an aura about him that suggested he was here to build his own legend, guided, of course, by one of the most dominant champions in WWE history. According to multiple backstage sources, Roman's presence was far from casual. He didn't engage in small talk, didn't shake hands, and didn't even acknowledge most of the superstars or staff around him. With each step through the locker room area, it became increasingly clear that Roman wasn't there just to observe. He was there to reassert his dominance, to remind everyone that the bloodline isn't fading away. It's evolving. Reigns appeared to be in full tribal mode, stoic, focused, and carrying the weight of his family's legacy on his shoulders. He wasn't flanked by security or a retinue, just Zilla, the heir to the next chapter of their dynasty, walking beside him like a warrior preparing for war. The vibe backstage quickly turned tense. Wrestlers exchanged uneasy glances. Conversations halted. It was as if the locker room collectively sensed that something major was about to unfold. Notably, top stars like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn were nowhere to be seen during Roman's walkthrough. Whether they intentionally kept their distance or were advised to clear the area remains unclear, but their absence spoke volumes. Was it a matter of mutual respect? Strategic avoidance? Or did the aura of Roman Reigns and the mystery of Zilla Fatu send a message loud enough to keep even the boldest superstars away? The questions are now swirling fast. What exactly is Roman Reigns planning? Is his appearance on Raw a sign that he's extending the bloodline's reach across both brands? Is Zilla Fatu preparing for an in-ring debut? And if so, will it happen under the banner of Reigns' control? The timing is significant. With the Night of Champions pay-per-view rapidly approaching and tension rising in both Raw and SmackDown locker rooms, the potential for a full-scale bloodline takeover feels more real than ever. Roman's return, paired with Zilla's debut appearance, may be the beginning of a new era, an era where the bloodline doesn't just dominate SmackDown but establishes complete influence over all of WWE. Insiders have noted that Roman's vision has always been bigger than titles. It's been about power, legacy, and building an empire that outlasts any single championship reign. With his guidance, Zilla Fatu might not just become another member of the roster, but the next cornerstone of that empire. Zilla's heritage, strength, and natural charisma already have fans and analysts speculating that he's a future main-event star in the making. And with Roman's mentorship, that rise might be faster and more forceful than anyone expects. So, what happens next? Will Zilla step into the ring sooner than anticipated? Is the bloodline about to add new members, new targets, and new championships to their collection? And what does this mean for Raw's current champions and power players? Will Cody Rhodes confront this growing threat, or will he stay focused on his own path? Will Seth Rollins and Sami Zayn step up, or will they be pushed aside by the unstoppable force of family loyalty and tribal warfare? Only time will tell, but one thing is absolutely certain. Roman Reigns' return to Raw wasn't just a visit. It was a warning. a signal that the tribal chief is far from finished, and that the next generation of the bloodline has already arrived, ready to carve out their legacy with fire and fury. WWE may never be the same again. Major developments are unfolding from this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, and it's safe to say the WWE Universe is buzzing. In a moment that no one saw coming, Roman Reigns, famously known as the Big Dog and the self-proclaimed Tribal Chief, made a shocking and dramatic return backstage on Raw after a lengthy absence. But he didn't come alone. Standing beside him was none other than Zilla Fatu, a rising prospect and the real-life cousin of Reigns. Zilla is not just another face in the crowd. He's the son of the late Umaga and a new force that seems destined to carry the legacy of the Anoa'i family into the future. Witnesses say Reigns wasn't simply there for a cameo or casual visit. His appearance carried the weight of intent and dominance. He moved through the backstage area with an air of quiet authority, offering no greetings or nods, locked fully into his tribal mindset. The atmosphere was electric, and some described it as unsettling. Reigns' demeanor suggested that he was laying down a silent but powerful message. The bloodline is not done, and its influence is far from over. Meanwhile, Zilla Fatu didn't just appear as an apprentice in training. Dressed with intensity and purpose, he looked poised for action, sending a clear signal that he's not there just to observe. He's there to make his presence felt. Sources within the company suggest that Zilla's role isn't merely ceremonial or symbolic. Roman may be preparing him to lead the next wave of bloodline dominance, potentially across multiple WWE brands. As Reigns asserted his presence, some of Raw's biggest names were noticeably absent from the scene. Superstars like Seth Rollins, Cody Rhodes, and Sami Zayn were nowhere to be seen during Reigns' backstage walk. Whether their absence was out of respect, caution, or outright fear remains a topic of speculation. The locker room chatter intensified as the weight of Roman's return began to settle. With the Night of Champions event approaching and the lines between brands blurring, many are wondering if Raw is on the verge of falling under Roman Reigns' empire once more. This unexpected return and the debut of Zilla Fatu raise even more questions. Could Zilla be gearing up for his first official in-ring appearance sooner than we think? Is Roman Reigns preparing to extend his dominance beyond SmackDown and reclaim his control over Raw as well? Fans and analysts alike are waiting anxiously to see what moves the Tribal Chief makes next, and whether a new chapter of bloodline supremacy is already being written right before our eyes. The atmosphere on WWE Monday Night Raw has shifted dramatically, and the entire WWE Universe is still trying to process what just unfolded. In a truly shocking moment that caught